Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino, home of the award-winning National Finals Tonight show. Brought to you in part by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, Knob Creek, Basil Hayden's, 14 Hands Wines, Ram Rodeo, Boot Barn, Cinch Jeans, Resist All Hats, Montana Silversmiths, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Don Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to National Finals tonight. Donnie and Joe are wound up back there already. It's going to be a good night. My, what a good crowd. We're glad to have you with us. Did you go to the rodeo tonight, or did you watch it? Yeah. It's just great watching here. This is our 13th year of doing National Finals tonight here. We are so thankful to Boyd Gaming for making all of that happen, and we're thankful for you guys for coming out. We're thankful for the folks on the Cowboy Channel, RFD and the Cowboy Channel, for airing National Finals tonight, and we hope you can actually watch this one tomorrow. So if you want to go watch yourself, go do that. Let's get this thing started tonight. We have great guests coming out here for you tonight, and we've got our co-stars ready to come out and entertain you and talk rodeo tonight. Let's get this first gentleman out here. I've worked with Donnie for over 30 years now, and it's been a blessing in my life. Hard to say that. Here he is, the 8-time world champion bull rider, Donnie Gay. Now, Donnie, now.
All right. Well, I was just ready back there. Come on.
Oh, it was so. He and Joe were talking back there, and he wasn't listening. All of a sudden, he heard Donnie Gay on the announce part, and he just came charging by me. I thought, wait a minute, wait, that's not your cue. How are you today?
Well, now that I got my breath back,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was in a Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Anybody having fun yet?
Yeah, man.
That's what it's about. That is what it's about.
We are so glad to have you all here on a Saturday night, and we're glad to have this gentleman here, also an 8-time world champion. They are living legends, these guys. Joe Beaver is here. Would you welcome him tonight? He has prizes for you.
Bearing gifts.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Hang on to it. Make the catch. Did you see her catch that?
Yes.
They got to
She might have played the Cowboys.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Hey,
What is that you're throwing out there, Joe?
it's cups and caps from stuff we do every year. You know, we have a little.
Yep, we.
Uh-oh.
I don't push the button. They do back
Yeah.
there.
Can you bring him up in the house?
Giveaways every year at the finals. You know, it's just something people take home, a little something here and there. You know, Donnie used to give away $100 bills. I give away cups. It's the same thing.
Oh,
But hey, listen, y'all. I swear, we probably have to go to Tandy Freeman and Justin Healer tomorrow. I think he pulled a hammy back there. Nobody loves to hear Donnie's name better than Donnie. And he and I are back there visiting, and he hears Donnie Gay. Oh, Dick, he just takes off like a bull's after him. And Dan's hollering, no, not now. You know, when you love yourself, baby, you love yourself.
We do need to check on if he pulled something today because he was bowling this morning. How did it go, Donnie?
Hey, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. Did you actually hit the pins?
230.
No. No.
Hey,
I got-
hold up. That's with him keeping score.
No. That was a. No. I got 6 texts from my daughter and a video of how to do it.
Of how to bowl?
Yeah.
Now that's got to be detailed.
So I'm reading
ball.
all this, and so they put me on this team, and I said, I'm looking at these guys, and there's 4 of them, and Bob Tallman's out there, and we're raising money for the Speedway kids, and it's a great time if you haven't ever been over to the Gold Coast to Bob's tournament every year, and this team has won the thing the last 6 years in a row. I've never won any. I mean, people are wondering how I got into the bowling game, and they put me on this team. They won it the last 6 or 7 years in a row.
Well, they knew you couldn't mess that team up.
No, they were trying to beat them, so I was the handicap.
So wait a minute. Did you actually roll a
230
by yourself?
Yes, but what? Okay, so I was the young one on the team.
Oh my gosh!
You know, that guy said, "How old are you?" And I said, 66. And he said, "Really?" He said, "Damn, kid." I said, "Well, how old are you?" And he said, 88.
Wow.
I looked over at his teammate and I said, "How old are you?" And he said, 87. I looked at the next one and he's 86.
Really?
And then the CPA that was taking care of all their money and stuff, he's 78.
How did you get on this team?
So the 88-year-old,
Yeah.
we stopped traffic. The last frame, you know, whenever you roll a strike, and then you get to do it again, and then you get to do it again.
Yes.
This fella, the 88-year-old, got one strike away from a 300.
No,
He
wait
knocks
a minute.
the last one. He knocks 6 pins down. There's 4 left. He smoked them. Got a spare. It was 296.
No kidding.
Yeah, 88 years old.
Hold up. But what I'm still trying to get a visual picture of is
no.
being 66 years old and needing someone to show you how to bowl.
Yeah.
It's a lane, it's pins, it's one ball. You just got to figure out how to get it down there. But Tally had to help you.
Tally did actually
Bless
help
her
me.
heart.
So how many games did you bowl?
2.
So that was your total 230.
Yeah.
Not on one game.
No, one game. you go through 9 frames or 10 frames, and then you do it again. 230. It's the total.
Wow. What,
I mean, Gary Lafew didn't show up this year.
It was 110. It was 110 and 120. 230.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. All right.
See, I told you, when you have to have visual help to bowl at 66, you can't know the scores right.
Now I feel
I mean,
better.
when you grow up in Mesquite, Texas, around Neil Gay, you don't know how to bowl or fish. You don't. He said 2 biggest waste of time on the planet Earth is fishing and playing golf. You know, so I never touched a golf club till I was 32.
Now, I'm still, so the 88-year-old that got the 300, that was in 2 games? He didn't get 10 strikes in a row.
Yeah.
You got him confused. Call Tally. Call Tally. Get Tally on the phone.
I'm not keeping score. Jackie, help.
Dan,
they were there.
Dan,
but
Dan, the man said 230s when they got through. I think.
Okay, so
all right.
Hold on. So they have 2 honorary starters, and the one boy has MS. He rolled his ball down there and knocked down a pin, and then Nate Justice, he was the next guy, and he honorary. We're getting ready to start the tournament. Tallman sees me, and you know, so he needed some entertainment. So he says, "We're going to have one more celebrity roll. Donnie, come out here." You want to know who rolled a strike with the TV cameras on? Me.
No kidding.
Yes, Jackie, am I lying? I'm dying. Yeah.
Okay, but the 88-year-old didn't roll 10 strikes in a row. No. He rolled, no kidding.
This guy, it was unbelievable. You had to watch these guys.
Did they have the bumpers in the alleys?
No.
No.
That was in the next lane, and I kept trying to get over there.
Man.
These girls wouldn't let me.
That's just...
I actually had fun this year.
I'm stunned. Let's go to rodeo. Let's do that, shall we?
I can do that.
Let's
call
do
it.
that. Round 3 is in the books. What a great rodeo tonight. I love coming to Las Vegas.
What
for this
horse
rodeo.
was this on tonight in the bareback riding?
Oh, it's full baggage Frontier
Frontier Rodeo.
Rodeo.
Roll that tape, baby. Let's talk about it, Donnie.
I mean,
Round
this
3.
is a big 1,400-pound bareback horse. Been bucking horse of the year in the bareback riding 2 times. Tanner Oss has got his hands full. Look how big this horse is. Jump kick, sets his feet. This is a great bareback ride. 90 points. all there. This horse is so stinking strong. I mean, he'll blow you out of your neck brace if you're not careful. But Tanner Ross is riding extremely well. You watch, when a guy's riding really good at the NFR, you see how straight he is on that horse's back right there. That shows you he is all there.
We saw Hunter Cure last night about to get killed in the steer wrestling. Tonight, you rebound, good head catch, throws him down. He feels like Goliath when he gets up. Now, look at this. Yeah, I'm not underneath my horse tonight. But the difference was he got a start. It doesn't matter how good your horse is. If you don't give him a fair chance at the barrier, they can't catch up. Hunter Cure wipes this one out. You talk about rebound from a bad night. He did it. T-Wade, Terrell, Texas.
Yeah, baby.
T-Wade should have won the first 3 rounds. He hooks it on this one. And tonight, Cole Davidson, I asked him last night, I said, do you know what a left blinker is? He said, yeah. I said, you better turn that thing on because Tyler Wade is catching them fast. Tonight, watch Cole. All right, the clock's on 0.1, but Cole seen rein his horse over, so tonight he made the left-hand turn, heels him, gets faced. The clock's at 3-1. I don't know what took Harry so long, but it's 3-7. Wins
All
around.
right, well, Outlaw Buckers brings this lunatic party to the dance, and watch this boy ride this bucking horse. This is classic rodeo right here. You can't extend your legs any further. You can't turn your toes out, set your feet any better. If they show this left side, watch him spur over the rein every jump. I'm watching this. This is outstanding. Chase Brooks has got to be, look at him. He's going all the way to the main line. This is saddle bronc riding at its best.
We've been waiting on Tough Cooper to show up. Tonight, he shows up. One swing around the neck, strong, turns him around, and when he flanks him, his clock in his head says there's no need to hurry. I'm gonna put 2 wraps and a hooey on him and be 6'9". We talked about it. He relaxed in the box, left his horse alone. This is what he has to do to win the all-around championship, but first he's got to win the tie-down to do it. This is a patent, easy run. He wins the day money. That could kick his whole year off right here tonight. Amber Lee Moore, when she gets around him, you pay her. And tonight, here comes Paige. Ooh, around the first barrel. Now watch this. All the way across the second, she rides one jump. She bumps it. It can rock. It just can't roll. All the way to the third. When she turned the third barrel, it was her night. She runs a 13.62, wins it by 1/100th.
Big Stone Rodeo, Canada, Spotted Demon, bull riding. Here we go. Kobe Radley. This kid comes in here to the NFR. He wants to get things going, and this bull turns back into his hand. Got a good seat. Watch him squeeze. A lot of guys' legs are really starting to bounce around. Not Kobe Radley tonight. 92 points. He was in total control the entire ride. He keeps his head down. These helmets, I'm sure they help, but I know one thing. They make it harder to ride. Watch him keep his head down as good as you can. Doesn't let it pop up until right there. The whistle's blowing. That's money. 92 points. Great bull ride for Kobe Radley and a great pen of bulls tonight.
The bulls bucked. The ones that rode deserved money. The ones that got bucked off, it's okay.
Yeah.
Great rodeo tonight. Joe, I wanted to ask you, after Junior, we had Junior Nogueira on here the first night, and he had stitches removed from his thumb, and I'm sure you've all heard about that and read about that. But tonight,
It looked like it was hurting him after
I
he
thought
was riding out.
I'm going to tell you what's hurting him. And it's just, we talked about it. It's just 6 or 7 stitches. It's just in the wrong place. You know, it's not nothing that's going to bother. It's not nothing a bull rider has to deal with. You know, pansy-fied team ropers, yes. But where it's at, it's right in the middle of his thumb, through the joint. So what the problem he's got now is his joint's swollen up. It's huge, and it won't bend. So when he heals, he's okay. When you go to pull your slack and dally, when you come up with it and it hits the bottom of that finger, he said when he dally, you know, Junior's bad to dally close to the saddle and lay down on it. But you notice now, you watch. If we see any video the rest of the week, when he dallies, watch how much room he gives himself. Because he can't hold it and lock down. If it hits the saddle, he's done. He doesn't have much feeling in it.
He's got all the pressure, the control in those.
It's like bull riding, I mean, on the end of your fingers.
On the end of your fingers. You don't sneeze.
He's okay, but you notice, too, Caleb's not reaching and jerking him out of there. He's giving him a chance to get around him where he knows he can heal. But he came back down tonight after the team roping, and I was watching a bronc ride, and he pulled my earpiece out, and he said, "What you think I can't do fast?" I said, "Look, keep doing what you're doing, because honest to goodness, his thumb's about 3 times as big as his other one, and it is stiff. And that's hard to dally with." You know the old saying, once you cut it off, well, stick it in there. You can't cut it off again. But it's the other way. It's been cut bad, and it's big. That's when you do cut your thumb off. So
I still told him that I didn't feel sorry for him.
Nah, me neither.
I'm going,
neither.
you only got 3 stitches in there.
You know what I told him? You could still be in Brazil cleaning stalls. Shut up and heal.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't ever ask Joe and Donnie what they think, because
This winter, and I won't mention any names, but
Go ahead.
Donnie's like me. I get this text one day, and this guy's gonna come back, and he says he can handle it again. He sends me 4 roping runs, calf roping runs. He said, "What you think, B?" So I looked at him. I thought the nicest thing to do is not answer. So I didn't answer. So the next day, did you get those videos? And I said, yes.
Forced him into it.
And the next day he says, did you get the videos or not? And I said, yes. Well, what do you think? And I said, remember, you ask. And then I gave him his answer, and I didn't talk to him for 3 months.
yeah. Nope, I like that about both of you guys, yeah. Also tonight, Eric Rogers broke out.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lockett was here last night and talking about how well they were doing, but they broke the barrier tonight. It would have been...
Made a nice run.
Yeah, they made a great run.
That steer looked like it was going to start, but he kind of stalled out at the barrier.
First run still on the timed events. Now we start the reruns, so no excuses. If you break the barrier, you're stupid because you already saw he didn't run. And if you're late at the barrier, you're really stupid because you've seen him leave sharp. You know, all excuses are kind of out the window. But what I will say is that barrier's probably not going to hurt him as bad as that Clay Smith popping it off tonight. You know, and Clay was supposed to come tonight. And he texted me, said, do you still need me? I said, you might need a little time. I'll get somebody else. You know, just because he was still going to come, we talked about it. He said, hey, Joe B., I'll be there. Do you need me? And I said, you know what? Pick another night, win something, and come back. Because that could have realistically cost Clay Smith an all-around championship and a team roping. It's early in the week, but you can bet he ain't going to sleep good tonight.
I was going to tell both of you, just before we came out here, I got a text from Casey Field, and he said, I want to come over there.
I talked to him tonight.
Yep.
I did. I stopped him in the hallway. I said, hey, will you do me a favor? I said, I'm a time event guy, but will you come for me one night? He said, I'd love to.
Yeah.
So I told him, pick a night. I want him to talk bareback riding, come back. You know, it's a heck of a story this year. I mean, he's done a lot to come back, so I'm bringing it.
Okay, so I'll give you a tip of something to watch for when you watch it on the big screen and you see it if you're out there in person. Watch it live. You watch all 15 bareback riders. That event, I mean, even you've heard me say it a lot of times. Even when it's good, it's bad because you get just the crap jerked out of you every time. I mean, there is no let up. Even when you win first, he's the only guy that when he's walking back, he's not huffing and puffing, and he's grinning. He's smiling. He's relaxed. He's enjoying being here. He's glad he's healthy.
Yes.
And he's not going to let it pass. This guy's going to be really, really tough to beat for the week.
You know, you've said it before, and we've talked about it with the crowd before. You know, show me a champion, I'll admire him. Show me a champion with adversity in his career, then you get my respect. And he's had adversity now. Yeah. He hadn't until this year.
I agree.
He might have thought he had it with a little ding and dang, but he had adversity. Ask him this year, do you want it or do you not? He answered yes.
Yeah, I love it. He's going to come out and join us on one of these evenings soon. Back in audio, if we could get Joe a hair louder in our floor monitors, that would be great. Let's get this first guy out here.
Let's do it.
He came last year for his first time to the big show here, and he is doing so well this year. He's a steer wrestler, and he's from Mississippi. And this is Will Loomis. Would you bring him out here, Will?
Mississippi Burning.
Hey.
The best time of the year to visit my friend is December.
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful time to be here.
I tried to tell him last year how good it was going to be, but did I paint a decent picture? Because you can tell everybody it was your first trip.
Right.
It was unbelievably successful.
Right.
With a big letdown.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, just, one steer that I never have been very good at catching those that turn their head, and it's something that we worked on this year, and Justin Schaefer's been awesome at Justin Schaefer's awesome at catching those anyway, and we worked on it and kind of I feel like perfected it. So if they want to send them my way, I'm on it.
That maybe don't remember wasn't here, that was a ninth
round. Yep.
Okay, for 8 go-rounds, Will Loomis was unstoppable. First national finals, wins over $100,000 in the lead in the average, which means he's going to win the world championship. And one stupid steer comes in that was really hard to catch for everybody else.
Right.
And he was for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody, we all 3 of us ran him: Kyle Irwin, Ty Erickson, and me. And it was a huge letdown, but it was awesome for me because it really exposed really the only flaw I had last year. and it's something that I could go home and work on, and I did, and I feel like other than last night, I feel like I'm unstoppable again.
No, you are. I was going to say, Joe, you mentioned over 100,000. He won like 130,000, placed in 7 rounds your first time here. And so there was no rookie thing for you to watch you work last year. Any different feeling coming in here this year? More relaxed? Anything? I mean, you couldn't hardly beat last year.
Yeah, it's awesome coming in here, and you can, I've talked to Joe about this, but it's just every steer that I've ever ran in my whole life was for last year and for this year as well. And every year I ever am blessed enough to make the finals. And so, just to, you work hard and you get here, and I feel like when you get here, you're ready. And, I feel like the only reason you would be nervous is if you didn't feel like you were ready. And I feel like if you get here, you're ready. You're ready.
Also, I'm going to throw something else in there, Dan, on this. A lot of people, in all my clinics, I try to preach education because there's only a few select that make it in any sport, that really make it. Rodeo, baseball, doesn't matter. Get an education. Get an education because the more we progress, the smarter you have to be. This is one guy that got an education, got him a job security future because he got that education before he ever cracked out and gave all he had to make the national finals. So he's got a fallback plan. So from now on, it's just all out doing what he loves to do, and that's going to make him even more dangerous, I think, because he's at peace in his mind, he's at ease, and he loves to wrestle steers. Wrong or right?
No, absolutely correct. And, Jenna's wonderful, too, being at home, and she's got a wonderful job. And it's, she's a wonderful partner to be able to help me excel in this, too, because, you see it so many times now where people are, they don't have necessarily people that support them and do what you love to do. And she's definitely she definitely helps.
She does a lot.
She does a lot.
A good friend of mine told me one time, he said, don't ever forget this. A good horse and a bad woman, or a bad horse and a good woman, will starve you to death. You either got to have 2 sorry, no good ones or 2 good ones, right, so you know how to survive.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And you're lucky. You got a good horses to ride and a great wife.
Yeah. Marriage counsel.
Let's take a look at you at work here, Will.
Okay,
Let's start off
Is
with
this
round
tonight
one.
or last night?
Is this last night or tonight?
I won last night.
Yeah.
I got round 1
Okay,
first.
round 1. Here we
so
go.
This is a 4 and 3.
Okay, yeah. I knew this steer. I had been watching him. I've been wanting to run him forever. Riley Duval has won all kinds of money on that steer. And I missed the bear a little bit.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
Justin did an outstanding job as a tick wide, and Justin just had him pick his head up at me. And then
but
it
you
was
cleaned
over.
him up.
Yep.
Great. But watch Schaefer's left foot right here, people. Okay, watch this. He's up there and he's like, hey, Will's nowhere here. Hey, steer, hey, throw your head up. Because he could catch him that way, and he can't catch him still running, could you?
No,
Do
absolutely.
that again and play it a little slower, Colin, so we can talk about that. Just say it again.
Okay, he's a
there,
little
Joe.
late. Watch the hazers ahead of the bulldogger, right? So Schaefer gets up there and he's like, I'm supposed to see Will right now getting down. And I don't. He pulls his horse over into him, gets his leg up where he can kind of show some eye to that steer, and look at the steer slow up. So when he slows up, it lets the bulldogging horse get by and get your feet on the ground a full jump earlier than if no help from him.
No, absolutely, yeah. That's just
The hazer can't touch him.
No, but he can hi-ya, just like flagging.
Well, right, yeah. You can't touch him, with your
And he never-
with
and
your
he never
hazer bat or your
touches him.
hand. You can touch him all day long with the horse or your foot, but it's frowned upon, I guess, to reach down and touch him any other way. But he did an outstanding job. Justin's a wonderful hazer.
4-3 because of the way you cleaned him up, made him hit.
Right.
In the steer wrestling, they can't get a flag till they're flat, all 4 feet the same direction. Watch him pull this steer's head back towards the rope and bulldog and shoots. Watch this. See that steer? He's looking at the steer wrestling shoot. And the next thing he knows, his momentum and Will's left arm picks him up and lays him down to where he gets a fast flag. A lot of guys are rushing this year, do you think?
No, absolutely, yeah. They're just, wanting steers to be really good, and most of the steers are really good, but you still got to do it right.
And by rushing, I think they're not bringing the head back towards the chute to line the steer's body up to get a fast flat fall.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta get them in a bind right there and pull the nose out. And if you pull the nose out, you get a flat fall, and a fast flat fall just like that. So.
Very good. Let's take a look at tonight.
Tonight.
Let's do that. Let's not. Yeah.
Tonight's a lot better.
Well, and Justin and I were talking about it. I still miss a little bit, but I'm drawing everything's on the top end on the run, and but we've run all the fast ones now, so hopefully we can come back and get some better ones. But Justin did a wonderful job again stepping up in that steer's eye, and I got him pick his head up. And when we were running that steer, picking him for the finals, we kind of knew he was a little funky in the head, and you can see it. You kind of
by the catch.
But yeah, so as soon as my feet hit, he kind of rolls his head a little. But as long as you can just keep his momentum going, he was really good. So that's why we put him on him.
But it's also not bad to run the runners at first to get your horse running back.
No, for sure.
You're going to catch a lot of them quick, and it's hard for a horse.
Yep.
The closer they get to the yellow chutes, as you might well know now,
right,
the bigger they look and the brighter yellow they are.
For sure.
And this horse is getting your feet on the ground. Now watch what I'm talking about. When he makes his right there transfer, you see how that horse, his head's down low and he's digging? That means he's going to keep your feet on the ground fast.
Yep. That right there is why we always talk about the bigger guys that win the most in the steer wrestling. A little guy can't be this fast on this steer because when that funky head move right there,
and he can't do that.
This right here is just all big and stout right there. You slam that steer down, and he didn't want you to.
Right, absolutely. And then even going back to the horse situation, that he worked awesome last year, and that's why I was excited to ride him this year because last year I rode a rookie here, and and he did awesome too. But just having the confidence on him being that he had already been here and been successful, it portrays.
That huge left arm right there doesn't hurt either. but once again, what I'm going to talk about in the Hazer, watch. He's in the right spot. He's got the steer in the left lead, but he's not running him over you.
Right.
He gets him to throw his head up. Now, right there's what Donnie's talking about.
Right.
I don't care how technique right you are.
Right.
At 210, you can't do that.
You can't do it.
No, sir. No.
Oh, I thought you were calling me 210.
No,
I kind of got a little excited.
I wasn't going to lie to you.
Wait a minute.
Still got to suck it in a little bit here, buddy.
The first time, well, not the first time, but one year, I asked him how old he was a while ago. I thought he was going to say 15 or 16, but he was 10. We were at the tour finale in Dallas, Texas, and his dad had him over there. His Uncle Bob, I used to haze for him and Bill Pace, and we all rodeoed together. And that's another story about the blessing the food. Sometime I'll tell you all that.
That's just old school.
Yeah, it's old school. So I got to talking to Will. He was standing in the bleachers right there, and I leaned over there on my horse, and we're talking and bull corning, and they moved the roping up, or I wasn't paying attention. And next thing I know, they're hollering, "Hey, come on, come on." Me and Will was talking about games and fun, and he's 10 years old, and they're about to turn my calf out. So I gave him my string when I got through, and I said, hey, one of these days, the National Finals is a pretty good place to be in December.
You bet. That string's still hanging on a saddle there at home at Mom and Dad's house.
Well, you look at it,
it's wore out from time to time so many times, but it's still hanging there.
But that's the Donnie talks about the eye the cowboy wants to do. That's all he wanted to ever do.
Yeah.
He wanted to be at the National Finals steer wrestling. His uncle did. He is now. And I told him last year, this is something that's a 10 or 12-year career to get the gold buckle because you got talent.
Well, and that's the reason that he didn't have any rookie problems last year because he's been training and planning in his mind for being at the National Finals Rodeo. You always have angst. You want to win. You have those butterflies or whatever you want to call them when you back in the box. But whenever you've trained, you've done all your training, you got your horse working like he's supposed to work, you trust your training, you can just go get the money, and you're doing a great job of it.
Well, I appreciate that.
I try to call his Uncle Bob because if you think a character's involved, hey, if you'd have been there, you could have been on TV, but you missed it by. This guy's uncle.
That's usually how it goes too. It's just that quick. Okay, bye.
Yeah. This guy's a trip, Buddy put the fire in him. This guy's dad put the fire in him. It's nice that we talk about this all the time, Dan, about people being on here. We bring the good guys on. This is a good kid with a bright future, and that's what helps rodeo and helps me and Donnie sell it and helps us call it. And I think the future's as bright as you want it to be.
I agree for this. Tom, give him a hand there. How many rodeos did you go to this year, Will?
Do what now?
How many rodeos did you go to this year? You had a good year. You won Kissimmee and
we can count 85, and I think I went to 76 or 7, 5 or 6 or something.
Did you ride the gray horse all year?
No, I rode the horse. I rode the finals till Corpus Christi, which is April, May. Then Jones had to do his surgery and stuff, and Justin was. I had run 2 steers on this horse before we ever struck out for the summer, and Justin was kind enough to let me on, and me and Jacob Talley and Justin rode him all summer, and we're successful.
This summer, we're at August. You told me that's where I'm riding.
Yeah.
Where are we at? I don't remember. But he rode by on the gray, and I said, "Hey, you got plans for the finals?" He said,
Was it? Were you at Nampa? I
Yes,
don't remember.
yes,
Yeah, it was
yes.
Nampa because it was fast.
In
You know,
little building, it was
Nampa's
fast.
almost as fast as the finals.
And I said, "What?" Because I was kind of wondering. I was curious because I knew Jones had surgery, was out, and I knew this horse looked really good that morning. Nampa, Idaho was a small building, and he looked good. And I said, "Hey, what's your plans for the finals?"
Well, and that was right after Calgary too, where Jacob and I won second and third at Calgary. You know,
you told me then, this is my ride. And if you got that much confidence in your equine partner that early in the game in August to ride him in December, you're sitting on a mound of good.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, it's exciting watching you, and you're just 27 years old right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Your whole future is in front of you. Got his degree and making a ton of money here, and
got a good woman behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A great
So,
one.
and he's lucky.
You already seen a good horse.
Hey, and he's a
great
steer wrestler. He can keep going till he finds the good horse. So you're set. Good woman, good horse.
Is your wife here tonight?
Oh, yeah.
She's
here.
over there.
Take a
Jenna's
picture.
over there. She's
There she is in the
Wave at
back.
us.
Yeah,
Hey,
there she
Jen.
is.
There, right over
Show
there.
him your shirt, babe.
Oh.
Yeah,
Come on up
there
here.
we go.
Come on up
Come
here so
on.
we can see your shirt. Yeah,
Come
come
on,
here.
show that shirt. They're kind of proud of this guy in Mississippi because they ain't got a lot of Mississippi, So come up here. All right, show me your shirt. You bet. That's the good woman behind it right there. You got any advice for Bob the rest of the week?
For Will?
No, for Bob, because Bob's at home about to have a fit. So what can we tell Bob? He'll watch us tomorrow.
Oh, he needs to be here.
Thank you, Bob. Did you hear that? Me and Will have said that for 2 years.
He knows where the planes are. I don't understand. I mean, he could fly it himself.
He could fly the plane out here, but he'd probably have 2 hemorrhoids and a heart attack watching Will. Is it as fun on that road as you thought it was going to be when you first got with this guy?
It is. It's worth it. It's always worth it.
Hey, before though, because she flew to Albuquerque now and met me, so we went to Lovington.
That ain't worth it.
No, just hear me out, because Justin and Jacob were crazy enough to go from Lovington to Sykeston to Omak. And you know how far that is. I was in Lovington. I said, y'all go. And I'll fly Jenna in, and me and her will drive up to Omak. So she was with me for about 4 or 5 days in that long trek from New Mexico to North Washington.
Did he not know his planes?
I really only told her we were going to Caldwell, Idaho, and then it was another 8 hours to Omak. So anyway, we had some fun, but that was
beautiful territory too.
Bob's probably going to show up because he's going to watch this. He's going to look at his daughter-in-law come getting up here and then flash at everybody.
Only bad thing is Bob's here, he'd flash him too. So
right, that's true. We don't want that.
We want the best for him.
Yes.
And want you to enjoy it. And be sure she gets all the money.
Oh, every bit of it. She already got the $100 chip.
Jen and Will Loomis, give them a hand up here, will you? Awesome, you guys. Perfect.
Right there, isn't it, Donnie?
I mean, he's got him set up. That's what when I say, well,
No,
he
you're
just
exactly
airplanes
right.
him. But the one tonight, he just overpowered him. I mean,
that Bramer did not want to take it.
No,
when he caught him and he shook his head. He wanted to be a limber neck.
he smushed him down.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Good thing he's a nice guy.
Yeah. I just want to say this about you. You talking to him when he was 10 years old, Joe.
Yeah.
You just never know how much you guys.
Joe does things that no one else does. Vicky and Roy are from Union, Oregon, and sitting out here in the audience, I believe. And
go ahead and cut him off.
So Joe had on his purple shirt last night, and Roy had an epiphany. He remembered back when Joe used to go to the rodeo in Union, Oregon. He pulls up and he, driving in there about 2 o'clock
I was one
in
of the
the morning.
first ones with a generator.
Had a generator
It was
on his
big.
trailer. He pulls in between Roy and his wife. They got a camper, and they got another camper over, and it leaves the generator on all night long. Kept everybody in the camps awake, and they're cussing that dadgum calf roper that's rolled up in here in the middle of us and don't care nothing. And they're getting out and they're feeding their horses and stuff. And Vicky steps out of her camper, and lo and behold, Joe B. in his purple underwear with his gas can filling up his generator again in front of poor Vicky. But we're glad you're here and didn't leave when you saw him up here.
Hey,
Spread the joy.
At least I had underwear on. I never wore them till my little boy made me. And in Albuquerque one year, I'll never forget, it was televised, Wrangler Network or whatever, the deal. and I roped this calf, and I straightened him and stepped across, and I felt him rip from seam to seam. There ain't much else you can do, just tie what you find and go about your business, you know. And I remember coming out, and the reporter standing there, and she wanted to do an interview, and I'm still sitting on my horse, you know, and she says, you need somebody to hold your horse? No, I'm good. So, well, you want to get off and do this interview? I said, I told you I'm good. And she said, well, I need to do this interview. I don't have much time, so I just got off. She said, you could have stayed on your horse. And my son was alive then. He was little. He was young. And I come in the house one day, and him and his mother are going round and round, and he's throwing out of his door. And I said, what is his underwear? And my daddy don't wear them, so I don't have to. I had 16 pair the next day. Been wearing them ever since.
So, Mickey, aren't you glad that he had those purple ones on?
Yeah, you better be glad.
That came quite a ways from influencing young people, didn't it?
I told you to turn him off. I said turn him off.
I wasn't supposed to tell that one. Oh,
Let's get a bull rider out
Yeah.
here. Shall we do that?
A good one.
A good bull, right? Yeah, cowboy.
You know, we've been
A
talking.
cowboy.
That's right, and we're going to talk more about that when he gets out here. It's a
'Cause he
great
rode one.
young bull riders that we have with us, and this guy is right in the mix of it. And a great night last night. Let's get him out here. Garrett Garrett Smith is here. Garrett, come on out here, young man. Welcome.
He's not nervous. He's been up here on stage here before.
No, and all I can picture now is Joe without underwear, so here we are.
There's some things you can't unsee.
No, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can think about that when you worry about what he's had drawn.
Wow.
Welcome back, Garrett Smith. It's good to have you here with us. And Joe was talking, and Donnie too. This guy is a cowboy. And when you talk to us, put that mic right up there, if you will. Your family is a rodeo family. Let's talk about them first.
Yeah, they are a rodeo family. I'm going to give a shout out to Schaefer for the hazing because I know how hard that is.
Yes.
And
Tell them this story though, Garrett. When you were, your brother was here at the NFR, and so you were what, 19?
I think I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
And we're hazing for him here, so talk about that.
So the older brother made it here in 14, so I guess I was 18 years old. And after the 5th round, he says, hey, you're hazing for me. And I just laughed at him. I was like, yeah, right, whatever. And so I was warming up Dakota Eldridge's horse. I was warming up Rusty.
Yep.
I thought I was cool. And, so I was doing that, and he's like, hey, you are hazing. So I finally stepped on the horse, and then when we were walking through the alley that you have to walk through, I almost puked like 4 times.
I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. When he backed in the box the first night, okay, and I'm standing by him because somebody said, "Hey, there's a kid gonna haze for me." You
Oh,
know?
you're looking at a child.
Hey, and I'm telling you, I'm standing by the low perch, you know, right there, and this kid comes in. I'm like, I mean, a kid, and he's scared. He's as white as that. But in his defense, honestly, that is the most. Is that not the most nerve-wracking job?
That
here?
is horrible. I'm never doing that again. If he asks me if he makes it again, I'll tell him no. I
I've
ain't
never
doing it.
been nervous in my life in this arena. And I have roped here so broke, hurt, whatever. But the year I hazed here, I'm telling you, if they'd had a puke bucket over there, I'd have used it.
I couldn't find it.
Oh, but you did a good job. Hey, and he placed. He went to winning when you showed
no,
up.
the first round I hazed for is when you saw a fat guy do a backflip. So, yeah.
So you started here when you were 18 years of age, and now this guy does it all. He is a cowboy. But what a great start you are off to here, Garrett, this year.
Yeah, this was great. In 17, I was second in the world and kind of had to start like this, but in round 3 is when I tore my ACL. So we got past round 3, so we're good. So I'm excited now.
Okay, so this is your 3rd time here in the bull riding. 17, you competed for a world championship. You were in the mix and have dealt with some of that distraction that goes along with that whenever you pull up and, you know, they're wanting somebody to beat Sage and you're it, and then you get hurt. And then you miss a year. And then you come back.
Yeah,
and
that year was horrible.
So tell everybody what the process is of being here twice and you're thinking, man, I'm just going to keep doing this, and then all of a sudden you're watching it on TV. how do you get going and the angst of just traveling all year long? Tell us about it.
Oh, just watching it on TV is horrible. So after making it 2 years and having to do that, I mean, it's bad. But watching it on TV in the snow, that's even worse. So I was like, we got to go back here. So getting back here was kind of a struggle. Broke my pelvis actually when I was making it last year. So I broke my pelvis in Coeur d'Alene on like a 12-pointer. I was trying to get off, my hand wouldn't come out. Imagine that. So we finally got here, and man, there's no feeling coming into the Thomas & Mack. Like, you can't even express the feeling you get, and you guys both know this. You can't even put it into words how just going in the grand entry feels, let alone getting on a bull here and winning a round. So I'm just happy to be back, and I'm happy I can walk.
I want to talk about winning a round, Donnie, because last night, and that's the one we've got up first for you here to take a look at, I think. But last night, and you can both talk about this ride, and it paid a lot of money to you, but you guys talk about it here.
Yeah, because the ground money, there was only 3 guys made the whistle. So, it pays $26,000 for first right now if everybody, if they pay all 6 places. But then they rode 3, so his check last night over $30,000, 33 or something like that.
33.6 is what they said. I don't know if I believe him, but I'll take it.
I was seeing that. That was 33,000 was more money than I won the first year I won a world championship and broke the money winning record. I won $30,300 for the entire year, plus winning second at the NFR total. And I broke Jim Shoulders' record that had stood since 1954.
That was back when they bucked.
Yeah. And the only alternative was working for Neil Gay or Reg Kessler, and so, you had to keep rodeoing. All right, this is a great bull ride. Did you know this bull?
No. They said he's going to go right, he's going to step ahead a little bit, and he's going to be a handful. So I said, oh, okay. He's one of those bulls you hear about, but I'd never seen him. So, and they said he'd had 1 ride. So I was like, all right, well, hopefully there's 2 if I get done with it.
You can tell he's really nervous about all this. But, okay, so how tall are you? What's your driver's license say?
5'9".
Okay, so... I was thinking you're 6 foot tall,
Oh, come
my
on.
driver's license says 5'7", and I know that's a lie.
If I was 6 foot tall, I would not be riding bulls.
But for a bigger guy, you and Tyler Bingham are bigger guys for the majority of bull riders.
You're making fun of me for coming from bull riding or a bull-logging family, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that bigger guys have a tougher time riding these bulls technically correct because it's just tougher. I don't care who you are, how you do it. It's harder to ride if you're bigger and taller, more mass to take care of. And you do that about as well as anybody I've seen. You remind me of Lyle Sankey back in the 80s when I was riding and seeing somebody all the time. But spurring bulls and just, riding them. I mean, this bull, your legs are bouncing and he's wanting you out of there, but you just didn't let him. You got a lot of muscle that can ride with a lot of effort, a lot of strain.
Yeah, that was not spurring on purpose. It was spurring to get by. So it worked out great. I mean,
Garrett, this is round 1. So while we're talking here, Donnie, you guys can take a look at this. Was a great ride as well, 87-point ride.
All right, now this one's going left away from your hand. You had a way easier time with this one than you did the Black Bull.
I wish they all went left, but that's just me.
Well, it's easier, and your riding percentage is supposed to be better if they're going into your hand where you can pull on it a little bit and strain. This takes more technique, but you have such good control with your free hand and moving your butt around when you need to. And you're pretty catty for a big guy, too. That's pretty hard to do.
I don't ever land on my feet. I land on my head. And that was on my feet. So I got my 1 out of the way for the year. So I guess I don't know where this is going to go.
This is the way you're supposed to ride bulls right here. I mean, I get so excited, and I know that feels so good. and then him getting a check on top of that, I mean, that even makes it feel better. But, you know, from Rexburg, Idaho, and there's a lot of snow up there. We got somebody from Idaho back there? Yeah, well, you know, so you probably rodeoed and started around the Pearson brothers and, you know, and some of that
Yep.
stuff. So you've been on some tough bulls.
Oh, yeah. And the whole family rodeoed. I mean, Dad was a pickup man, Mom was a timer, so we grew up in the announcer stand, so we didn't have a choice. The other sports were fun, but this is what we were born to do.
And also in high school, 3 times. I think you set the record there, didn't you? You 3
Yeah.
times won the all-around title,
Yeah.
3 consecutive years.
Still got the record there. And it was pretty cool. No one believes me that I was in the American in the bull logging in 14, so I made that. No one will ever believe me, but
Okay, so
It's
we've been
on- it's
bragging
on
on
film.
him. We've
It's
been
on
bragging
film.
on him. Do they have tonight's performance in there by any chance?
Yes, we do. We do. I think we
Okay.
can get
Oh,
that.
here
Colin
we
can
go.
pull-
See?
Now, why
Yeah.
you gotta ruin a good thing?
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? Now you know why people get mad at Donnie. You know.
man, this was a fun talk show till this happened.
Okay, old Brindle right here looked like they blowed up a balloon and turned it loose.
That's a POS right there.
Hey, look!
I
I mean,
like Joe.
watch this. Watch this right turn. He's almost back in the chute, and then he goes forward about 9 miles, back the other way, and then he's going left. I mean, that's almost impossible.
I
to
felt
ride.
like we're halfway to the dog and shoot, so I was like, I guess we're
Yeah.
hazing now again.
Well, all of them turned back, but this bull is bucking really hard. But the worst thing about this, it's almost that you didn't make the whistle. You wouldn't be mad, because if you'd have stayed on him, they rode 3. You would have won 4th,
Yeah.
and you would have worked harder to ride that bull than either of the other 2. And this is what I always tell people. They say, well, the bulls are a lot better now. And I'm going, no, they're not a lot better. The good bulls, there's a lot more of them. The bulls that you hated to get on were bulls like this, where if you did ride them and they didn't tear your groins all to pieces, you still didn't win anything. You know, so the half of the pen was that kind of bull. So this is way better. Your ability means so much more now. If you can ride, you can get rich, is what I think.
Yeah, exactly. You make the whistle, you're gonna make money. So this one just wasn't very much fun, but we got a good one tomorrow, and we're sitting good right now. So as long as we keep
How
riding.
did this bull get in this pen of bulls? Do you know?
Oh, I don't think I
You
can
don't do
say
the
on
politics
here,
stuff?
but no, I don't. We had one conference call for the bull riding, and it took like 6 hours, and I was like, yeah, you guys can pick the rest of them because I'm out of here. But I was bull logging with Wyatt at this point, and I was like, hey, guys, I got a bull log. I don't even care about bull riding right now.
What do you got tomorrow? Good.
Yeah, one of J-Bar J's, cold dice. I know nothing about him. So.
That doesn't hurt either, though, does it? Really?
No.
I mean, Donnie says sometimes you get too much knowledge on them, you know?
You can spend way too much time. You can think about a golf shot, or you can think about, I got to concentrate on rolling that ball down the middle of the lane. The bull can't take but one jump at a time.
No.
You know,
no.
so you always have that to fall back on. Now, sometimes they feel like they can take 6 at one time, but
That one did.
That one right there. But like those other ones, you know, if you jump out of there and get your rhythm, and they turn back and they're not going to just scatter off, they're going to really wind it up, man, you can get tapped off.
It's still ride them jump for 8 seconds,
Yeah.
no matter what, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, we're getting on an animal with his own brain, his own heartbeat. He's not going to do the same thing every time. Yep. So if you set a trap for one, you're going to get caught in the trap.
Wind up in your own trap.
Exactly.
You're off to a great start here, Garrett, and we wish you continued success here. Good to have you back at the National Finals Rodeo, and tomorrow night you've got a good draw. Good luck to you, and come back and see us
Yeah,
if you
thanks
will.
for coming.
Yeah.
Would you pay off
Heck
this young
yeah.
man right here,
Garrett Smith.
Thank you.
You know, some of the guys are just so nice. You know, and that's one of
You
them.
know what I like to hear from him, though, and I've heard it from you a bunch. It's why. It's like he said, do you know him? No, I don't know him, but I got to ride him. It don't matter. You know, he's right. You lay too many traps, you get caught in your own trap. That's a peace of mind that lets a guy win.
Well, that's the guy that doesn't beat himself.
Right.
in the 9th and 10th go round.
That's right. And he knew tonight when Donnie was describing that bull about how, when he told me, he said he was hard to track and I ain't gonna worry about him. Well, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That bull was not one that you buck off of and say, oh my God, I bucked off of one. Who cares about that?
And you've done it. We've all done it. Most everybody out there that's rodeoed have done it. Once you get off, whether you won first or last, it's in the rearview mirror.
That's right.
That's really where it stays. And so
Donnie, I just want to ask you.
You can whine and cry about it, but it's still in the rearview mirror.
He was talking about the 6-hour phone call to try to. How is
that's
the
that's politics.
Yeah. So how is that selection?
Well, Cody Rostocki is the bull riding director, and so what happens is they have event directors in all the different circuits throughout the United States and Canada, and they all send in this big list of their top 50 bulls. They're going to take 100, and so they get they get it narrowed down to about 150. 150 have the talent to be here, and then they all vote. So there's the top 20 are eligible to. I mean, they have sway, and you got to stay there. But which girl's the prettiest? It just depends on who's looking. So those meetings are long, drawn out, and real hard, and no fun. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I want to get this guy out here just to get the truth about this bowling deal. So let's get. This is the 11-time
Go get the truth.
PRCA Announcer of the Year. Bob Tallman is here. Let's get him out here and let's
Come
get
on,
this.
Bob, help me.
Come on, let's please.
The truth?
Yeah, as you see it.
As you see it.
I watched it.
As you saw it.
That's two different things, the truth or as you see it. Huh?
Why let the truth ruin a good story? Okay.
Bob, let's start off. How much money, Jackie? How much money did they raise today? Do we know?
We don't. I just asked her a minute ago. We don't know, but it's going to be bigger than what we've ever done before.
Okay.
The biggest crowd for anybody here that went over there today, just in the audience. Thank you very much. And everybody went and spent $5 on something, got a beer or whatever.
Great auction too.
It's awesome. Yeah. Well, they changed the format. We bowled a full game. And then we had the auction, and the silent auction was unbelievable. And the live auction was unbelievable. But here's the real truth, okay? I know what you're wanting to know. I know we raised more money than we have before. Remember, Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund. Yep. And Courtney Sessions, our new pretty little blonde girl, who's running that now. She's in charge. And then the Las Vegas Raceway's Children's Charity. And this is how it works. And none of it would work without Boyd Gaming and the Gold Coast Hotel and all of our properties, because this is the most benevolent group of people in the world, from Atlantic City all the way to Las Vegas, and all of our boats and properties we have on the rivers across the country. We brag on it because we ride for the brand, but folks, I'm serious. Nobody does what Boyd Gaming does. Nobody. Now, I mean, they might have taller hotels than we do, and they might have more neon lights than we do. Maybe they have more limousines than we do. But we give more than anybody else in the business. Here's the deal. I've got this young man, and we're going to get to meet him again next Wednesday night. And his name is Jake Rosnelli. Rosnelle. And then we had Nate Justice, who is
Donnie told us that they did the initial starting.
They threw the two. Well, Nate was taken care of by the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund, and little Jake was taken care of with, and he's got muscular dystrophy, was taken care of by the other charity. So they're the two poster children, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Then I had my child.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite, I'm his cheerleader. And so the little guy, he threw his, and then Nate threw his.
Which little guy?
And, little Jake threw his.
I was just making
and then
sure.
Big Nate threw his. And then I said, whoa, my man is ready. Now, you got to understand, I've been a believer in him. Ew, bad hotels and greasy restaurants and everything else we've been through. Sour yesterday's beer and all that kind of stuff. But Donnie Gay's a winner because he thinks win, okay? He will try to beat you to get to the elevator so he can push it and beat you in the door, and we're all going the same place.
Yeah.
But it's a game for him to beat you at something. Here he steps up in all of his glory, and I said, I'd like to introduce you to my 4'7". I'm sorry I cut you in half, but I said, I've got a hero here, and he's going to throw his first ball, too. Damned if he didn't just bail up there and zip it, strike, pow, wiped them all out. Then he comes back during the games, in the first game and the second game, and does it 2 or 3 more times. And he is the sorriest bowler in America. He
Well,
really
last
is.
year
You could have left that out.
he pulled a hamstring last year bowling. We remember that. He was.
Yeah.
Was that?
You know, last year was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. I mean, my fingers stuck in the ball. And I mean, I followed through. I was listening to all these instructions, and it jerked me down just like one of them bulls. And they got this greasy crap on those.
Oh, it's slick.
I mean, it drugged me. I slid 5 feet out into the lane. I just that ball off of my hand. I got all this grease on my new shirt my knees and everything. And nobody got it on the cell phone. I didn't wind up on YouTube. I'm the luckiest guy in Las Vegas.
Well, the 2 things is he's kind of short and stubby, and so are his fingers. Okay? And he can't get his thumb out. Now, I ain't going to say anything else about any other extremities. We'll let that go. Terry, are you here? Maybe.
Yes.
Yes, he can answer that. But here's the deal. I mean, he sizzled this ball down through there, had a little spin to it, and got right there and knocked him out. Knocked him out, Cole. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. Very proud
good.
of you. But here's the big deal. 100% of everything, all our other items are donated. And between Boyd Gaming and other sponsors, everything was donated. So we have 0 cost. And Boyd Gaming gives us the Gold Coast Hotel, which was our home for years. And I tried to teach him how to drink tequila on the 10th floor one night. Didn't work so well. He crawled away from that one. And
it's the last time I drank tequila, too, by the way.
And but so we had 0 cost. We have an awesome bunch of volunteers. Now let me tell you about the guys that won it. The guys that won it are 82 to 88 years old. Okay? They average 84 and a half years old. They've won it 5 times. Today was 6th. And this is Santa Fe de Rodeo, or de Santa Fe Rodeo.
Yeah.
Okay? And there might be some of them here. No, they'd be in bed by this time of night. And one man today, he's 88, bowled within 4 pins of a perfect game.
See,
It was a fun day.
I told it as right as I could tell it.
Yeah, that's what
No, he
said.
did good.
I mean, this guy bowled so good. I mean, you know, they had the best time. I'm just sitting there, I'm thinking, man, I hope I
How
can just
did
do
he
some
get
of this
on their
stuff.
team? He was the closest in age to anybody
They were
else?
trying to keep them from winning. They can't beat these old
We're
farts, so they put
handicapping
me
them
on
next
the
year.
team.
We're going to I told them next year they got to put one hand in their pocket and bowl with the other. I ain't going to let them do all that sizzy little stuff they do with a tutu, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got all the moves down. They got little bags with their own balls.
Careful. Just
They come
pause like that.
with their own bowling balls,
Thank
their
you.
own shoes, and they got these little gloves. They got a little pad right here, to, you know, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they got towels, and they do.
Oh, it's
You know.
amazing.
I watched them all day long. I was impressed.
Well, a lot of people don't understand that when all these properties were built, and other properties too, that were smart enough, when Michael Gaughan built these properties and other properties, and he followed behind his father and Benny Binion and everybody else. I've called people at 6 o'clock in the morning here, and they just get off a shift, and they're wired up. Maybe not, they want to go get something to eat, but they want to go do something. And I've seen guys with a rack of bowling balls coming in here at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And they might bring their wife and kids with them. They work from 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6. And so the bowling thing is so simple. It's healthy. And we've got a bar over there. I mean, it's beautiful. We've got a full restaurant over there, a snack bar to go with it, and games and arcades of all kinds of things. We've got the same thing right here in this property.
Yeah.
So if you want to bowl, and it's 6 in the morning, or if it's midnight, or in 2 in the afternoon, not to mention the theaters that we have, and all these sorry, folks, I am a fan of this joint right here. That's why
We
you
couldn't
like
tell.
We understand that, yeah. We're a fan of yours, Bob. We appreciate you coming out. We appreciate you doing the bowling today with everybody and the money that you raised.
I tell you what, somebody has to be in charge and be the face of that bowling tournament, and they couldn't have got a better one than Bob Tallman, 11-time announcer of the year for the PRCA. But what he does over there at the Gold Coast, that comes from Bob Tallman's heart, and he spends a lot of time, and they've done a lot of good for a lot of people.
He's a spectator's hero and a contestant's hero, too.
I love it. Give them all a hand up here, will you? Joe Beaver, Bob Tallman.
I wanted to tell you, tomorrow night I'm going to tell you about Garrett's dog.
Okay.
And I want to tell you about beating Will Loomis arm wrestling.
All right.
You did?
I did.
That'll be for tomorrow
I'm
night.
coming.
All right. We thank you all for joining us here in the audience. Please stay with us. We have prizes to give away to you. All the folks on the Cowboy Channel, we thank you for watching. Hope that you will do it again tomorrow night. For all of us here at Boyd Gaming, for Donnie Gay, Bob Tallman, Joe Beaver, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Good night. Thank you.